Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Annual Conference Live at 0 to 3. I'm Will Hallex, here for our fireside chat on the 0 to 3 competencies, and I'm joined by 0 to 3's own Nikki Darling-Kuria. She's the Senior Manager for Professional Development and Workforce Innovations, and Jennifer Chacon. She's the Content Specialist for 0 to 3. Welcome to you both.
Thank you.
So we're here to talk about the 0 to 3 competencies. So can you tell us about what those are and how they were developed?
Sure. Over the last several years, 0 to 3's Professional Development and Workforce Innovations Department has been working hard to align a set of guiding principles to help align the professional development that we deliver using expertise across the fields and then specific to infant and toddler educators, have come up with two frameworks for our professional development. The first one is the critical competencies for infant and toddler educators, which, as the name implies, is for infant and toddler educators. And the second one is really for multidisciplinary professionals, which is specific to the prenatal to age 5 workforce. Jen can talk a little bit more about that, and I can come back and share a little bit more about the infant toddler competencies.
That's great.
Yeah, so the competencies for prenatal to 5 professionals are really the core foundational knowledge, skills, and attitudes that are necessary for the professionals serving the prenatal to age 5 population. So anyone in mental health and physical health, child welfare, social services, physical health, just in areas that support the prenatal to age 5 population. These are 8 domains that really support their work and their work with one another. So that cross-sector perspective and a support in their work collaboratively and in coordination with one another.
That's great. All right, and then so we'll go back to the other set of competencies now. Yeah.
So based on the prenatal to age 5 competencies for multidisciplinary professionals, we focus in on the profession of early care and education, specifically focusing on infant and toddler educators. And those critical competencies are the foundational knowledge that professionals who are working with very young children need to possess in order to really be able to offer high quality early care and education. But it focuses specifically on the interactions. It's divided into 3 categories. Area 1 focuses on social emotional development, Area 2 focuses on cognitive development, and Area 3 focuses on language and literacy. And we use those subdomains within each of those areas, and so there's a total of 13 to help really inform infant and toddler educators on the work that they do and how it's shaped within the competencies for the multidisciplinary workforce really provides a solid foundation for anyone who's offering care, education, working with young children and their families.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great. And so it sounds like there was a really clear need for this kind of systematic approach to the competencies. Can you tell me a little bit about what the development process was like? Those discussions where it's like, we really need something like this to be able to offer to the workforce.
I can start with the competencies for the prenatal to age 5 professionals. So they were actually piloted and created out of the Western office in the 0 to 3, it's in LA, and they were funded by First 5 LA. So we really wanted to be able to have that communication across the sectors and support collaboration. So we were funded by First 5 LA to create and look at the literature about how to support these professionals and how to get them to communicate with one another with certain domains in mind, like relationship-based practice and how that's important across all the sectors. So we pretty much brought in professionals from the 5 sectors and created this multidisciplinary competency-based framework in order to create that. Based on some of the work done before, there were competencies before, but they were for prenatal to age 3, but we wanted to expand them to prenatal to age 5. And so that's how we created competencies for prenatal to 5 service providers.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great.
And the infant toddler educator competencies really were filling a gap. Looking across the field, looking at what has been presented by other organizations, the National Association for the Education of Young Children, there's accreditation standards that the National Association for Family Child Care has also. There were other standards in the field already in terms of making sure that environments were high quality and could pass accreditation standards. But when it really came down to the interactions with the adult, the caregiver, the educator, and the young child, we realized that there was a set of competencies that those individuals really needed to have to ensure that young children had the very best start that they could. So we've spent the last really 4 years conducting research, developing the critical competencies, and then turning them into training of trainer curriculum. We have online lessons that individuals can take to learn about those competencies as well. And then we have a trainer certification for the individuals that go through our training of trainer, who can then go out into the field and offer the training to the direct service providers on those competencies as well.
Yeah, that's great. And so what you're describing, it's really a panoply of offerings that 0 to 3 has for training. And what has been just the response that you've seen so far from some of those?
It's been fantastic. Just at this conference alone, we had we had a session for trainers that had become certified, and I probably will get the numbers wrong, but I know that we've had 121 provisionally certified trainers on one of our curriculums already. 36 who have been certified in critical competencies, and another 40 or more that have already been receiving the highest certification that they can get in offering these. And so the trainers themselves are super excited. The demand from the field has been extraordinary, and it's been the thing they've been waiting for.
That's terrific. And a lot of the folks in our digital audience now are actually professionals who are caregivers or service providers, and so I know they're going to be really interested to learn more about this. So where should they go to learn more?
Well, we have 2 sets of lessons that are available as online courses. One series on the P5 courses that they can take for multidisciplinary professionals, and the critical competencies also have online lessons. People can visit learning.0to3.org to learn about the Learning Center that is available through 0 to 3, and they can purchase online lessons directly. They can find out about direct face-to-face, in-person training that's available. We have trainer coaching events coming up for certified trainers. There's a lot of opportunities to be able to learn about the critical competencies, to learn how they could become involved as a trainer, learn how they could become involved as an expert faculty, and then take the materials and go out into their own communities and be able to provide them as well.
That's great. And so again, if you're a professional watching at home, that's learning.0to3.org. You can also see more about these kinds of resources at 0to3.org/AC Live. That's also where our fireside chat schedule is posted. So please make sure that you check that out. Our next fireside chat at the top of the next hour, 3 p.m., is going to be meeting some of the 0 to 3 fellows, which is going to be really exciting. So make sure you tune in for that. And in the meantime, thank you both so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll see you soon.